Hi all, today I'd like to present my my presentation based on the analysis of David Bordwell on Ally Fears Eats the Soul 1974. Sorry for the typo. So this is about relationship between Amy, a German woman, and a very young Moroccan immigrant called Ellie. To give some context, this is set in Worst Wonder, which is German's economic boom during the 1960s that was fueled by immigrants coming to the country. Here we see the director, and his personal experience was that when he was young, he collected wages from these immigrants, and from that he really started to empathize with the social segregation that these immigrants experienced. Throughout the film, we witness a lot of narrative parallels. Right from the start, Ellie is verbally excluded. So we hear about how Emmy's co-workers talk bad about immigrants and how they do not view immigrants, how they view immigrants with disdain, essentially. But subsequently, after they enter a relationship, we see the parallel that Emmy's neighbors also start to segregate her and ostracize her. In this case, they even call the police on her. Another example of a parallel here, very striking, is that we start with Emmy ostracized from a coworker, but eventually that evolves into the new coworker from Yugoslavia immigrant become ostracized. And there's a very clear message here about how the director believes that social exclusion and inclusion can be very arbitrary and it depends on people's selfish choices in the moment. So in this case, Emmy starts off ostracized, but afterwards she becomes very happy to also ostracize others, even though she experienced once, like just a few moments ago, to be ostracized. Now there's a lack of narrative resolution in the film too. During the closing shot, we see this Ellie's illness and Emily holding her hand, and it comes back to the title of Fear Its Soul. Here, Ellie is sick because of how all the social exclusion and other issues they experience eating away at him. And in a larger picture, there's a parallel to how racism and racial hatred eats away at the human's collective soul, at humanity as a whole. I really like the mise-en-scène in this film. Each shot is very naturally still, as if they are in a photograph, as you can see here. There's also this idea of de-dramatization, which is that the film keeps things very simple. All the speeches, all the lines are delivered in a very flat manner, which lets us really focus on the actors and actresses' facial expressions. We can also see this technique of the frame within the frame, which helps draw into light how the couple is always put into attention, how the couple always gets the attention of others in a negative way. In this case, as a viewer, we kind of see them as the object to be observed. Here's another one that I really liked, and I really like the symmetry in here and the use of colors. Very beautiful. Finally, this idea of the collective stare at their relationship is further exaggerated through the use of eyeline matches. So we can see here Emmy's looking at all the people staring at her, and in the next shot we see the huge crowd of people staring at her, literally. To conclude, Ellie is different in terms of how it mutes the large production values of Hollywood's melodrama at the time. In fact, it's very sparse and it's very sparse. The final scene of Ellie lying in his hospital bed, it really ties into this opening message of happiness is not always fun, and it's a very desperate and it's a very futile movie.